Hello, thank you for joining us. Hope you are all well. Welcome to the Tuesday Town YouTube channel and also live on Facebook as well this evening for another nostalgia special. And how enjoyable it is, isn't it, to always reflect on successful seasons of days gone by, and that is very much the case tonight. We turn the clock back all the way to 1993 to 94. I was still a teenager. It's that long ago. But what a season. The season that Fred Davis led Tuesday Town beaten in their first three matches of the season. But what a turnaround. The team ending up champions, 5 points clear of the runners-up Chester City, ultimately. A stunning season. 22 wins, 13 draws, and just 7 defeats. It's a pleasure to be joined by two of the stars of that squad that Fred Davis led to success all those years ago this evening. And you can have your opportunity to ask a question as well by letting us know your questions via the YouTube and Facebook links. And let's introduce our two special guests for this Thursday evening then. In no particular order, let's begin with the man who joined Shrewsbury Town from Aston Villa in 1990, £75,000 paid to Aston Villa for Dean Spink. Great to see you, Dean. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, Stuart. Thank you.
We'll hear lots from Dean as we go on. And the man at the bottom of the screen also needs no introduction at all, but I'm going to give him an introduction all the same. A man who was signed from Sunderland. I think it was £20,000. What a bargain. Played lots of games. The Riverside loved him. Tough tackling left back who liked a tackle or two. Tommy Lynch, good evening to you.
How are you, Stuart?
Very well. Really good to see you, Tommy. Looking so well. Tommy joining us from Shannon in County Clare in Ireland tonight. Brings back lots of memories. Seeing both of you this evening, gentlemen. 26 years ago. Since that season, which I'm sure features very highly in your career highlights. Let's begin with Tommy. Is it up there as perhaps the season of your life?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Rivaled closely just when I came home after leaving Shrewsbury. I got involved with Waterford United as a player manager, and we happened to win the first division here. So it was a different, as a player manager, it meant it was huge as well. But as a player, an out-and-out player, the years at Shrewsbury were probably the best of my career, and that was just the icing on the cake. It was fantastic times.
And you were telling us just before we went live that the shirt, not the number 16 one we can see at the moment, but your equally famous number 3 shirt,
yes,
on the wall as well.
Corner with my medal attached, and it was the Wembley shirt that we wore, that we had. So that's stuck in the corner over there, yeah.
Good stuff. Good days. But not the Wembley one in particular, given what happened, but good days. Let's not talk about Wembley tonight. Dean, for you, it was an incredible season because you actually started it playing alongside Mark Blake at the heart of the back four, didn't you? Before it all turned around and you became this goal-scoring star.
Yeah, it all changed. I mean, I started with Mark Blake. I think there was a lad, Peter Whiston, as well, I think. And yeah, it just changed around. Then sometimes I was playing up front, playing at the back. So it was a bit of a variation, really.
And for you, Dean, it was an incredible turnaround because I think it's fair to say that you hadn't perhaps had the happiest times under the previous manager, John Bond, on occasion. And then Fred Davis became manager, and he clearly had a lot of belief, a lot of confidence in you, and it all fell into place.
Yeah, he gave me a lot of confidence. You know, I mean, there was around, it was good around good players as well. You know, everyone, all the players around me were good, and yeah, just went on to score, got a lot of goals.
Indeed. Yeah. Let's cast our mind back to that summer of 1993. The club the season before had just missed out on the playoffs on the last day. That crazy game against Northampton when Town were 2-0 up and ended up losing 3-2 unfortunately. Change of manager in the summer, John Bond leaving the club, and Fred Davis was given the job on a caretaker basis. What are you thinking then, Tommy, when Fred Davis, the player who was well known to you all, was given the opportunity?
Yeah, I was personally happy that he got the opportunity, because he was a link between the players and the previous manager, John Bond. And he always looked out for the players. He had a nice way about him. He got his point across in a nice manner. Now, if you had to get a rollicking, he gave you a rollicking, but it was done and dusted. There was no going into the change room wondering what sort of... And I don't think abuse would be the word, because Bondy, I mean, when I think of some of the things he said, like it was nothing short of abuse. I mean, I can remember one incident with Graham Wordle. I won't say what, because it was shocking. But Fred it was all done and dusted. The minute Fred came in, different attitude. The slate was wiped clean for all of us, and we just got on with it. It happened at the right time, I think, for all of us.
And it was an interesting summer because, as always, players left, players came in, and you look at the recruitment, Dean, and you brought in lots of experienced players as well, didn't you? Dave Hockaday, Chris With, Wayne Clark, of course, came into the football club as well. Gary Patterson, the opposite end of the spectrum, a youngster, came on board from Notts County. Dean's still with us. Yes, he is. Yep, Dean. Do you remember that, the players that came in and how they bolstered the squad?
Yeah, it was, I mean, obviously we had a lot of injuries. Players come in and made the squad stronger. Yeah, it was very good.
Indeed. Could you give us some insight into Fred Davis, what he did for you, Dean, and for your career, how you went from somebody who was alternating between being a centre-half and a centre-forward to suddenly becoming a really free-scoring centre-forward, 20 goals that season. What did he do for you in terms of your career?
Yeah, I think we'll go off what Tommy said, really. He'd been a player himself and he could relate well. He could put points across as a player, but obviously, you know, he was a manager, but he wasn't personal in any way, where Tommy was saying with Bondy, where he'd be personal and have a go at people. And Fred seemed to give you that confidence that made you feel a better player than what you were. And it was just, you went out there and, well, I think everyone went out there and performed, you know, well above their ability. Yeah.
Fair to say it didn't quite go to plan in the opening couple of weeks, though, Tommy, when you look at it, the first three matches, the record books here, Midfield away, Walsall home, and then that day on the plastic pitch at Deepdale, the 6-1 defeat against Preston, 3 defeats out of 3. What are you thinking then?
Well, coming away from Preston, I thought, bloody hell, it's are we ever going to recover? But at the same time, the other two games were close enough. The Preston was a one-off. The first plastic pitch, it was new, I think, probably the first one in the country at the time. So we didn't read too much into it. Again, Fred took all the pressure off us, and he put it squarely on his shoulders. We were just told to go out. We were good players. We just needed a break. And don't get down. I don't think any footballer's gone through a career without being on the wrong end of a bit of a hiding. And that happened to be our one. And to be honest, it was probably the kick in the arse we needed. It was the wake-up call that we needed, because we couldn't have got any worse than that. Mm. And we came back, and I think the next game, I don't know, was it Scunthorpe in a League Cup or something? And I think
Colchester away, Tommy.
Sorry?
Colchester away, a 3-all.
Colchester away. And we, yeah. And it just picked up from them. But when you think we lost 3 of the first 5, I think by October we had lost 5. And then between then and the end of the season, we lost 2 more. I think we lost 6 or 7 games that season. So really, to lose 3 in the first 5 and then end up where we ended up was credit to everybody at the club, led by Fred. But I think every player and Dino, I mean, to be honest, was outstanding. Outstanding that year. The goals he scored, and he took the brunt of an awful lot up front. He fetched and he carried, and he put himself about. He got on the end of crosses, and he wasn't afraid to miss, which was great, because he just went back into the same position the next time round and more than likely scored. It's my time with Dino, that was his best season. He was outstanding for us. Huge man, huge leader, and great character around the place as well.
Indeed. And Dean, when you look back, and it looked a massive blow for the club at the time when Carl Griffiths, who had scored lots of goals in his time at Gay Meadow,
got the chance to move into the top flight to Manchester City. But in many ways, that was a making for you, because you suddenly became centre forward yourself and Wayne Clark and seemed to hit it off.
Yeah, I mean, Carl was a great lad. I mean, Carl, you know, he's just a natural goal scorer, a natural ability to score goals. And then Wayne Clark come in. I mean, Wayne Clark was a great help. You know, he talked to you, spoke to you, encouraged you, told you what to do, where to go. And it was amazing the way he worked. Unbelievable player.
Was he the best you played alongside in terms of a strike partner, Wayne Clark? Yeah,
Wayne Clark was very good. Very down-to-earth person as well. Very down-to-earth person. You could have a laugh with him and that. You know, you got to remember he played for Everton in FA Cups. And he related to everyone, you know, he encouraged everyone and helped everyone.
Nice to see some nice comments on screen as well, Kevin Howells. Great to see these guys, great memories indeed. We've got Dean Spink and Tommy Lynch as guests tonight, reflecting on that fantastic 1993 to 94 season. Neil Stanley saying 2 massive heroes of mine from his first season following the town. That must be nice to hear, guys, you know, all these years on, that you made such an impact on the town, the football club, the supporters, Tommy.
Yeah, I be honest, I have to pinch myself when I go back because of the reception I get. I was fortunate enough with the Hall of Fame and then in the 11 and have my mural at the back of the stand and everything like that. But just to go back and people come up to you and talk to you. And I have to be honest, like, all I did was go out and play. If I was playing on a Saturday league team, I would play exactly the same way. I learned lessons from growing up. I learned lessons from my time at Sunderland because I didn't give it all. And I thought that will never happen again. I didn't commit to my time at Sunderland, but you find your own level, your own playing level over the course of your career. I wouldn't change a thing. I have to be honest. The good times, great times at Shrewsbury, tough times at Sunderland, whatever, and then coming back home, League of Ireland, I wouldn't change a thing. You go out and you play to the best of your ability all the time. But I would have played exactly the same with a Saturday league team as I did with Shrewsbury Town, and they just seemed to take to me, and that's great. And as I say, I go back maybe every couple of years, and it's great to get the reception I get. And people coming up talking to me, wishing me the best. And look, I was very fortunate and very lucky.
And Dean, I can still visualise in there and looking out after you've put the ball in the net and thousands of people, the famous terrace cry, Dino, Dino, Dino. That must have been music to your ears as the rapport you built. Sorry for that, I wasn't thinking, by the way, I don't know what it was. The rapport you had with Fallopian, Dean, that must have meant a lot to you.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Tommy. You know, I wasn't an exceptional player. I just give my heart, same as Tommy. Tommy gave 120% every time he played. You know, you just went out there and crossed the white line and just give your all. Don't get me wrong, some days it never worked out, but hopefully most days, you know, it worked out.
Yeah, nice to see his comment there as well. That season as a 10-year-old had him hooked as a Salop fan forever. What a season.
But you're responsible to yourself first and foremost. And I keep saying it, and as a manager, when you come back in, the first thing you have to do is look yourself in the mirror and say, have I given it 100%? And regardless of how the game went, you're allowed to be the worst player on the pitch. Once you give 100%, you can pass 99 passes and none of them turn off. But you still have to go out and give 100%. I think Dino typified that up front and I would have it at the back. And people bought into it. First and foremost, be honest with yourself, and anything else that happens after.
Absolutely. The league form is picking up after that difficult start. At the same time, you had this really exciting run in the League Cup as well, beating Southampton. Then a top flight team, as they are now, of course, over 2 legs. What a night, the 2-0 win at Game Meadow, having lost narrowly at the Dell. And then there were these 2 amazing games with Kenny Dalglish's Blackburn Rovers. First of all, Dean, your memories of that cup run?
I remember playing in the game. I think was it 3-1 up, 4-1?
3-1.
Yeah, and then the sub come on for them, and I think he scored a hat trick. Was it a hat trick within minutes or something?
Yeah.
There was 4 after extra time in the end, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we played well. I mean, we held our own. I mean, I know they were, they're bigger teams, Southamptons, like your Blackburns, but we held our own in games like that. We had a good team. Like Tommy said there, we had players that played with full heart and give their all. There were no shirkers. These lads, there's some players with a bit more ability than others, but the others, they still put in the same graft.
Yeah.
Tommy, your memories of that, fair game. What did it feel like to score that header against Blackburn and put down?
Someone's tried to claim it.
I was going to say, your goal.
Yeah, it's Kevin Summerfield tried to claim it. But I was fortunate enough because I must have headed it from about 12 yards out and it bounced maybe twice before it crossed the line. It went to about 2 or 3 different people and they all swung at it, they all missed it, and before you knew it, it crossed the line. I don't even know that it hit the net at the back. Such was the power. But it was a great feeling because we were close enough then, I thought, to getting what would have been one of the biggest shocks ever. But look, you can come off and say we I think everybody did their very best that night. It's just one of those occasions where it just wasn't to be. And we had a few of them over the course. I think Arsenal at home in another cup game where we more than held our own, I think, just short of the quarter-final of the cup, I think. And Mickey Thomas lashed it in from 25 yards, bobbled up and hit him on the shin. And it flew in, but it swings and roundabouts. We had games where we weren't great and we Pox got a lucky goal or something like that. So it's swings around. You just take it and you go with it and you roll with it.
Around the same time of the season, Town went up to Wigan Athletic, and what a day for the number 9 Dean Spink hat-trick in a 5-2 win over Wigan. Where does that stand out in your career, Dean? A hat-trick at Wigan in a 5-2 win.
Yeah, it's great. It was a great game because I always remember that pitch. It's like an old speedway track where a speedway track should be around. It was like miles away from everywhere. But I remember it was like a wet night, and it was great. I mean, I couldn't believe, to get a hat trick, it was great.
Tommy set you up for one, didn't he? I remember.
Yeah, Tommy. I must admit, Tommy with that left foot diagonal ball, unbelievable.
Yeah, but see again now, straight away, Dean started saying, "Oh, Viv set me up for the goal," and like I must have ran from just inside my own 6-yard box. and the Cruyff turned then and lashed it in, and I turned around and Dean is running to Viv, thanking Viv for the bloody cross. See, some people never forget.
Michael Pinches, he's just got in touch via Facebook. Certainly doesn't forget one of his best memories of that season, the 5-2 win at Wigan. I've got a confession to make here. I think that was the only game I missed that season because I was ill. And what a game to miss. A 5-2 away win at Wigan Athletic. That's the way it goes sometimes. But Dino outstanding that day. Michael remembers. Michael busy pinch. Tommy's goal against Preston. A top memory as well.
Dino that day was just, nobody could have handled him, I think. Just the confidence was just oozing out of him. I mean, got great goals, not tap-ins, but great goals, taking it down, turning people, and was unlucky with another couple of efforts, I think. But as I say, if you shoot often enough, there's a chance. And that's another thing about Wayne Clark, going back to when, like, we would train and we'd all look to head away. Clarkey, going back that 26, 27 years ago, he would stay behind.
Yeah.
And do his little passing drills into the corner. He'd set himself up on the penalty spot and get someone to pass footballs into him from all different angles and 2 touches. And all he wanted was a foot inside either post. And that was the first time I'd experienced anybody kind of staying behind, putting in extra. And it just shows you that he was so calm, so collected, and a great touch just to bring other people into the box wherever he was on the pitch. Excellent player. And Dino, but they were a good foil for one another up there.
Yeah. He was so dangerous going forward to the team. What a season Mickey Brown had. The amount of goals he was involved in, scoring them and setting up plenty for yourself in particular, Dean.
Yeah, he's like Mickey. I knew when Mickey got the ball and he just got it out of his feet, I knew he was going to put the ball. I think Northampton, when we played at Northampton, he put one in, I got a header from it. But Mickey put in lots of balls. He was a great player, Mickey, very athletic, good lad in the dressing room, good banter, good good fun lad.
Great lad. And but would work hard both ways.
Would chase back. Yeah,
he
definitely.
would chase back, getting tackles inside his own penalty box, helping out Dave Hockaday, whoever else was there. But like that, you give Brownie the ball 10 yards inside his half, and whatever, 7 or 8 seconds later, he's on the edge of their goal line, getting crosses in, and scored a few goals himself as well. A couple of important was that time as well. But another great lad and a local lad, and lovely fella. And as I say, when I went back the last time, which would have been, I think, the Wolves Cup game, it was Dino and Brownie that we met up. So we still
that's it.
Yeah, and we still get together, and there's great memories. But for that year, it was probably Dino's best, and maybe Michael's best that I have seen him play so consistently. We always knew we had it in him, but consistently over the season, he was outstanding.
Yeah, give us an insight, Dean, into that dressing room, the team spirit. He seems to be a really close, well-drilled, tight-knit group of players that season in particular.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, the players, right from goalkeeper all through to the subs, everyone knew what they were doing. Everyone knew their job. Anyone shirked half-time, people will come in people's phases. There'll be a fight, there'll be this. But at the end of the day, lads forgot about it, went back out and got results.
Yeah. It was great. The whole leading up to the week's training was great fun. We'd come in and you'd go underneath the stand playing head tennis. You could be there for an hour and a half. And then you'd go up on a Friday up to the little Astro, was it that up by the police, Monkmore or something like that. And they were probably the feistiest games ever. Yeah. On a Friday morning at 10 o'clock, and it was like the Celts against the English or something like that. And there was no and it was just, but again, everybody carried on the training.
Yeah. And I have to say as well, Stuart, lads on a Wednesday, lads used to meet up, go for a beer, and everyone, it was unbelievable. Everyone would go for a beer, have a chat, and I think that helped as well. A good camaraderie between everyone. Everyone knew everyone in and out, and I think that helped a lot as well.
Yeah. And Tommy is playing at the back, as you did, of course. What was it like playing alongside two young emerging centre halves, Dave Walton and Mark Williams, who were thrown together, not at the start of the season, it was a few months in, wasn't it, that Dave came on board from Sheffield United, but as a partnership, they just seemed to gel.
Oh, they did, because they probably have the same amount of brain cells between them. And they just clicked. But again, the centre half that was probably needed down there, and I'm not criticising because Bombers went down and played 30 odd times, I think, for Northern Ireland or whatever like that. So I wouldn't in any way, but it suited us back in those days. I mean, I look at it now. They were strong, commanding, wholehearted. Nobody got an easy ride against them. They were so determined that they'd go through a brick wall for you. And they really complemented one another, and they tried to outdo one another, which was great because if one fella won up and went one header, the other fella wanted to go and win two headers or win tackles. The other fella wanted to be, I'll show him. And they really gelled on and off the pitch. But great lads. Again, great. That was the one thing about it. It didn't matter what sort of character you were. You all seemed to get on. You had Eddie in goal. It's like this is Doubtfire almost like. But he would come in and get involved with everything. But he just cut from a different cloth than a few of us. But as I say, once we got together, there was only one goal in mind, and that was to go out, give 100%. As I say, you're allowed not to be the best player on the pitch, but you had other people beside you who would put in the shift and carry you through. But definitely Bomber and Stitch proved to be pillars of success. As I say, when I think over a season to lose 7, and like Stitch wasn't there for the first 4 or 5. I mean, we lost 3 in the first 5. Stitch wasn't around, so we've only lost 4 games when he came in to the team. Like, they just complement each other. Great characters, great around the place, and fierce competitors. Yeah.
Town fans, feel free to get involved, have your say, any memories, any questions for Dean Spink and Tommy Lynch. Here's one from Martin Berry. It's the Dean. What was your favourite goal of the season? Mine was a tap you scored after 20 plus passes at Gillingham. I remember it as though it was yesterday. It was an amazing move. Pass. In the end, a little tapping. It's what the move needed, the finishing touch. Remember that one, Dean, down at Gillingham?
I can't remember that. No, I can't remember that one. But I think I'll go back to the ones at Wigan. The goals at Wigan.
I remember another good one you scored. I remember was Wickham at home. 1-0 win. Wickham were one of the teams up in the promotion battle with you. And I remember the ball was played to you, and he turned, and at the Wakeman end, turned and drilled it.
Into the corner. Yeah, I remember that one.
And a great goal at Chesterfield where we were 3-1 down, I think. And a cross came to the far post. I think it was headed back across, and Dean, from the penalty spot, sliding or falling back, met it on the half volley and lashed it in to make it 3-3. Great result, great goal for us.
I think you're in the record book, Dean. I think I'm right with this one. That you're the last man to score a winning goal still for Shrewsbury in the Football League at Walsall. Because it's been a pretty unhappy hunting ground for Shrewsbury over the years. And you scored there a 1-0 win just before Christmas, 1993. So that was another big win in that particular season as well. We're talking about some of the players, and it's a really nice blend of youth and experience, wasn't it? When you think back to Dave Walton and Mark Williams and Gary Patterson, and really from Mickey Brown, of course, was very young. Of course, you were young as well in those days. But then you had the experienced older heads as well. Kevin Summerfield, we played lots of games. Wayne Clark, we've referred to. Dave Hockaday was terrific for Mickey Brown, wasn't he? His development. And Paul Edwards in goal as well. What about the contribution of some of the older heads in that team? Well, let's have that one. Tommy, you want to go first on that one?
Yeah, I like Patters. Patters came from nowhere. Like, I hadn't heard. I think he was a young lad at Notts County. Was it Notts County he came from or something like that? But he came in and he just, once he found his position, I think in the middle of the park, because he played wide for a while, or I don't know, were we playing like a 4-3-3 and he was wide of that. But once he found himself in the middle of the park, he just bossed it more often than not. It's unfortunate, like he got in great positions, scored a couple of great goals, mainly the one in Scunthorpe towards the end. Got in great positions, got great shots off. Just unfortunately, he didn't score more goals. But again, box to box, suited us down to the ground, and a good cut about him as well. Like, for a young lad to come in, new people around him, he just took it by the scruff of the neck every game, each and every game.
Yeah. You had a lot of talent in midfield, didn't you, Dean? Paul Evans played at the start of that season. Then Gary Patterson, Mark Taylor, of course. Playing Summerfield, we've referred to as well. Lots of talent all over the field. And you look at that midfield, the options for Fred Davis, lots of very good options.
Yeah, Kevin Summerfield was very good, very experienced, could just hold and just play a nice, easy ball. Mark Taylor, great ability. Could go past anyone. Paul Evans, up and down, gets stuck in for a small lad, but I tell you what, he put himself about. We had a strong team, midfield, all through the spine of the team. We had a good, strong team.
Yeah. We had loads that you think, like Smudger.
Yeah.
Used to come in and like great pace, just another option that we could throw at teams, like maybe later on in the game. I don't know, did he play a load, but would have been involved in quite a lot of games as a sub. But again, just as someone to come in and run past our strikers for their flick-ons. He had great energy, great pace. But like that, the competition was good for places.
Yeah.
And the balance was right. The balance was good with players that wanted to get their foot on the ball and other players that were just more honest. Myself, just you kind of win the ball and give it to the good lads.
I mean, there's a lot of competition even up front. You know, you had Ian Stevens, you got Steve Antrobus. You know, you had to be on your game, otherwise you were out. Do you know what I mean? These players were breathing down your neck to get in.
Yeah, that season, the 93-94, you had O'Neill Donaldson scored some.
Tufty, yeah.
He was at the club as well and didn't get as many games as he would have liked, and played his part as well.
Yeah, I'll go, because Dino would have played with Tufty. Tufty came out again. Someone came out of nowhere, but came in early and scored quite a few goals, but just seemed to be carrying a knock. Always seemed to be carrying a knock, and didn't really do himself justice over the course of his career at Shrewsbury. And then Joe would have loved to have played more, but Joe was great around the place. Joe was
Yeah.
just one of these happy-go-lucky, smiley fellas. If anybody ever came in a bad mood or anything like that, you'd go to Joe and you'd be laughing before you knew it. Like, he just had this way about him of just being a good sport, good person to be around, and really nice lad. And he's done really well for himself. I think he's kind of gone with Kenny Jackett to quite a few clubs.
Yeah, I think he has, hasn't he?
And I can see that because he has that rapport with people.
Yeah, it was an exciting promotion race. Shrewsbury, Chester, Crewe, Wickham, Preston were all in the hunt as well. But eventually, the Steels, Northampton Town. Ironic, given you'd had the disappointment at home to Northampton 12 months earlier on the final day when you almost got to the playoffs, but not quite. But a 2-1 win over Northampton, and that was that promotion sealed. Can you remember that, the celebrations that followed as well?
I have vague recollections of it. I do remember that the Scunthorpe, when it was kind of confirmed we were champions, but we were always leading up. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm thinking back, and I don't know, did I ever pay much attention to where we were in the league? Obviously, you'd look at the paper and that'd be it, but the next game was the most important game, and that was kind of put into us, and it didn't matter whether it was a cup game, a league game, a league cup game, or even a five-a-side training game. That was the most important game, and that was the one you wanted to win at all costs. And that's the way we went through the season. And before, from my perspective, before we knew where we were at the right end of the table and really pushing it. And when, as I say, we were good, solid. Dino scoring goals, and then Stitch and Bomber, Eddie in goal, stopping the others from scoring. We were keeping clean sheets, winning matches 1-0, 2-0, whatever it was. And like I said, before you know it, it's after Christmas and it's coming up to Easter, and you're fairly much there or thereabouts, like.
Yeah, promotion sealed against Northampton. The title followed a week after, Scunthorpe away. 4-1 win. Gary Patterson scored his first goal of the season. Remember, we took his shirt off and was swinging it around his head.
Around his head, yeah.
And again, terrific scenes at the end at Scunthorpe when the reality starts to sink in that the Shrewsbury Town had delivered. You were champions.
Yes, and it was great, and it was like it's a memory akin to the Bristol Rovers away in the, was it the Rumbelows Cup or something, the semi-final, all at home. But like, football is football, but that feeling there that you're going to Wembley, that was brilliant. It's probably, and outside it didn't matter. It was just a feeling of it. You didn't care who we played. We had won. We were away in Bristol, and it was brilliant. And it was similar to in Scunthorpe. All our hard work had just come to fruition up there. It was just great days, like.
Yeah, fantastic. Remember, Town fans, you could have your say, your chance to pop a question to Dean and with Tommy. This one for you, Tommy. Tommy, yeah. Busy pinches. What are your memories of the Swan in Frankwell?
Right. The Swan in Frankwell, actually, we were living around the corner. We were living in Sandringham Court, myself and Christine, and we were walking into town one day, and it was just at the roundabout, 100 yards from our home, and we just said we'd call in, and as I said, Mick and Vera happened to be the landlords, and they happened to be Irish, and we just kind of clicked. We got on, and it was like Mick would go to all the matches. Was a huge Villa fan. I can remember him taking me to Villa Park to watch Inter Milan and everything like that. He was a season ticket holder. But then he started going to Shrewsbury. But we'd always, it's like great memories and comfortable there. And I'd be behind the bar and I'd be standing on chairs singing and doing whatever. I always had appropriate times. But no, they were very good friends. And to the point that although it's no longer theirs, Mick was due over in the country up to his sister's wedding, I think, up in Belfast, and was coming down to visit me, but that had to be put on hold because of the travel restrictions at the moment. So I have great memories of the Swan, and like all the lads came around on a couple of occasions as well. Dino and in there. I think I had a going away party in the Swan, and it was it was a great occasion. But yeah, I loved it. But I loved Shrewsbury. I loved the town. I have to be honest, it's great. And I was the one that decided to come home. Christine, my wife, would probably say, I don't know, was she ready to come home? But we have great friends still there, and they still were over and back all the time. And it was one of the most happiest times of my life, not only as a career, but living in Shrewsbury. And as I say, on another occasion, you never know, we could still be there. But as I say, I wouldn't swap anything. I wouldn't swap anything. It is what it is. And I have nothing but fond memories. And great Shrewsbury.
Roger Groves asks, who was the worst trainer in the team? Such a thing in a title-winning squad. Were you all committed, or was there someone else someone you can think of for that one?
I don't know about the worst trainer. The one that got the least clothes was always Ian Stevens. He just got a little plastic bag with a pair of socks in and a shirt, and that was it. He was terrible. He was terrible, Tommy, wasn't he?
Scruff. He was affectionately known as Scruff, because that was the way. I mean, he'd turn up to training with as you said, what would be known as akin to a little Tesco bag, and everything would be in that, and he just turned up. But everybody kind of trained hard. You know, great characters. Chrissy With was a great character around the place, but always look for an angle to get something over on somebody. Always looking to get something over on somebody, and he would take it handy at training because he'd be too busy trying to touch people up and screw people up around them. Like the only thing, we used to go and we'd jog up to the little AstroTurf at Monkmore, and you'd go past the pub on the left hand side, the Crown. Is the Crown Inn?
Yes.
And there was a little coffee shop just past it, and we'd always be in there, and you'd get your food ordered and everything like that, and you'd come back and it'd be doctored beyond belief because whoever came in after you would be telling the lady. But great fun. But yeah, Chrissy Witt was probably the handiest fella to go training because, as I say, he was too busy looking for an angle to get one over on somebody else.
But it all came down to you got the trophy and the medal before the Wigan game. You can see the picture there.
Yeah.
The final day of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Team with Fred Davis and Malcolm
Musgrove, isn't it?
Yeah. As well, and there's a squad as well.
Yeah.
For the silverware. Special day.
Great day. I have a couple of pictures actually of it framed around the house there. One of us all with the trophy kneeling out the front and beside Dean out the front. And I have another nice one of me just having the trophy in my hands and Dean just on my shoulder, like. So it was, look, people have played football and won nothing. It's like better players than me, far better players than me have played football for years and years and never been fortunate enough to win anything. Like I won a league medal, and it doesn't matter that it was the Division 3 championship. It's a league medal that I won, and it means as much to me as any medal that Roy Keane or anybody else has ever got. I can look people in the eye and say, I have a league medal and I played at Wembley. And not many people can say that, and I can say that, and I'm so usually proud to be able to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. And special.
Yeah, I go with Tommy on that. You know, I have got a league medal there, a championship medal, and like Tommy said, yeah, there's better players played higher and not even got a medal. And at the end of the day, you know, we've had that experience of being to Wembley and having a championship medal.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very enjoyable times. Very enjoyable times.
And you still come back quite a bit, don't you, Dean? I see you quite often at the...
Yeah, I come back. I think last year I saw Tommy and his wife. I see Mickey there quite a lot. Still keep coming back. Still keep coming back watching games.
Yeah. And Tommy, you try to get over whenever possible?
I come over every couple of years, but it was home for me. It was home. My daughter was born there, and it's nothing but good times and great memories. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to see you and hear from you tonight and take a very enjoyable trip down memory lane. You made lots of Shrewsbury Town supporters very happy for a long time, and great to catch up with you.
Stuart, thank you so much, and a great credit to you, because you're probably one of the most consistent faces of all the players that were coming in and coming out throughout the year. You were always there.
I've seen a few come and go.
It's great credit to yourselves for putting it on, and it's great, and I'm delighted to link in with Dean. I had great times with Dean, and down through the years, and we're still as I say, we might only meet each other once every 2 or 3 years, but it's great time to be able to just to meet him at the drop of a hat and go back to old times.
Yeah, no, likewise, Tommy. And Stuart, thank you very much, and thank you to Stuart. But yeah, it's been great. It's great to have us on, especially in these tough times and that. So, hopefully people have enjoyed it, listening in. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much to both of you. All the best to yourself and your families. And of course, all the very best to all of you watching as well tonight. Thank you very much for your company. Thank you for your comments as well. Really good fun to hear from Dean Spink and Tommy Lynch. Once again, two men who both served Shrewsbury Town so well for so long and were part of that 1993 to 94 title winning side under Fred Davis. Special days indeed. Well, stay safe, everybody. Thank you once again for your company this evening. I hope to see you all very, very soon. Good night.